guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dariana, aka Not at Her Time, aka your trading bestie. Today's video, I just decided that I was going to do my normal trade reflection and trade review, and the way I've been reviewing my trades has changed a lot recently. I'm just going to bring y'all along on my daily trade review. So when I take a trade, this is what I always do. I didn't expect that today was going to be so active. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to journal my first trade. So this is the trade that I was looking at this morning. This was the first trade that I took this morning, and I liked it because it was simple and it was ideal. This is the type of setup that I usually win on. It's going away from the 200. We broke this high right here where this wick was. We broke that. Boom, it started coming back. I'm looking at this. I'm like, okay, this zone is around 8 pips, 8 points. So I'm like, okay, let me get in aggressive because I might as well, since the zone is so small, the risk won't even be like my normal risk. So like, you know what, this trade is low risk. I'm about to get in aggressive and I'm about to hold this. So I'm about to journal this. I'm gonna pull out my journal real quick. Y'all know I love my journal. Okay, y'all, so I'm gonna journal my trade real quick and then we go like chat about it. One thing I really love about my journal, y'all, it's not sponsored by the way. let me stop. But one thing, I love how this journal has a place for a bunch of screenshots. Like, one thing about me, I'm gonna take a bunch of screenshots. I need to see my trade from all angles. Okay, y'all, so when I journal my trades, I just fill in all the things. I have my little custom stats. This is not that video though, so I'm not gonna go into it. So this is one of the most important parts when I journal my trades, because it starts to bring the attention a little bit more on myself and my decision making in the trade. These questions I have on the screen right now are the questions I've been asking myself since I started journaling and actually tracking my trades a long time ago. I don't think I was journaling my trades when I first started trading. Probably like 6 months to 8 months I started journaling my trades, and these were the questions I would always ask myself back then. And I believe, I don't even remember where I got these questions from, but I believe these questions are based off a Hannah Forex video, I think, that I watched years ago, and it was a video of how she journaled her trades, and I think these questions are some of the questions she might have had in that video. I really want to touch base on question 2. I said, for question 2, did I follow my system? Yes. Since I took the aggressive entry, put my stop loss below the zone, I plan to go for a little over 1-to-1. Since I was not going for a full 1-to-2, I did not move my stop loss to break even because I usually don't when my next TP isn't that far off from my first TP. I need to reflect more on if that's okay to do or if I should move my stop loss to break even when going over 1-to-1. And I'm probably going to touch more on that in my daily report card. This is why one of my goals that I have a little bit in my head, just like to the back of my head, is that I do want to practice holding trades out a little bit longer. It don't gotta be for no 1-to-5 because I'm not doing that. I'm not going for no 1-to-5. I'm not doing that. That's not me. But 1 to 1.5, 1-to-2, something like that, and just build my tolerance in holding trades. So in the terms of building my tolerance to hold trades, I feel like I executed this trade good. So y'all, let's go over my execution of this trade. That's really the importance of the review, is to review yourself and what you did. And that's why I mean this today was so active, because usually I just close out at 1-to-1, no interference, you know, most of the time. But today was very active. I was very in the market. I got in aggressive once I saw a wicking, so you can see where my entry was. Price hit my TP, right? My first TP. I could have closed. That's not what I wanted though. My plan was to go target yesterday's daily high, which is this green line. This is where my discipline had to come in, because the old me, I would just close at 1-to-1. But like I said, I'm trying to build tolerance of being in my trades. When price kept wicking here, I was like, okay, what are you doing? What are you doing? Then this candle printed, you see how it closed, bearish. I'm like, okay. But the only reason, the reason I did not move my stop loss to break even was because the 13 EMA was right there at my break even. And sometimes the 13 EMA can help you in your trades. If we're in momentum, it will hold on the 13 EMA, continue up. These 3 wicks probably could have signaled to me, or should have signaled to me, that we're not in momentum anymore, and maybe I should move my stop loss to break even. But like I said, I wanted to see what price was going to do at the 13 EMA before I just got out at break even. And I ended up closing where this white line is, says exit. So I closed like when it started, you know, where I saw it was pushing past the 13 EMA, and I was like, okay, I'm not about to take a full loss. And at this point in time too, I had moved my stop loss to the break of the candle stop loss. If I had entered here like at the break of this last candle, then this is where my stop loss would have been. But since I got in aggressive, I did not do that. Since my 1-to-1 was already hit, I'm like, okay, even if this came against me, the least I could do, if I'm not going to move my stop loss to break even, let me move it up to underneath this wick as if I was in the break of the candle entry, because if it breaks that low, then I'm basically done with the trade anyway. Price ended up not going to my runner TP. I had to close early with a small loss. I lost like $29. My question to myself is, was today's execution on this trade sustainable for long-term growth? Because when I held this trade past, or I was trying to hold this trade past my 101, I was using discernment. I was like, okay, let me see what it's going to do with a 13. Let me see like what's going to happen first before I make a decision, which can be good because, you know, I'm reacting to what's going on. For future reference, and y'all, I'm talking so slow because I'm trying to figure this out. Like, I'm literally like I did journaling about it earlier, but this is like my actual trade review. Like I said, y'all are with me on this journey right now. So I really this is how it be. Like, I got to really think about myself. Like, what can I do to execute this situation better? What could I have done to get a better result? Closed at 101, stop trying to hold over 101, which I probably won't do because I do want to build my tolerance of holding trades. Maybe moving my stop to break even automatically. Like, let's say I'm going for a 1 to 3, not 1 to 3, 1 to 1.3, 1 to 1.5, like 1.50, something like that. Something like not exactly a whole 1 to 2, but something like over 1 to 1. Maybe I should still move my stop loss to break even regardless, because and this is why I'm thinking this. One, like if I had in place that if I go over 1 to 1, not because on my board it says set stop loss to break even for runners. Technically, in my brain, I didn't view this trade as a full runner because I was not going for a 1 to 2. So maybe if I in my brain decide that anything over 1 to 1 I will consider a runner, and I will move my stop loss to break even. In this situation, that would have been beneficial because instead of closing with a $30 loss, I could have just got out of break even. And I've been doing some more back testing. Like when I do my back testing, I try to keep track of my runners. I am trying to see how long my trades go for, and if they do come back to break even before they go there. And one thing that I was noticing in some of my back testing I was doing recently is that most of the time the stop loss at break even will save me. All the trades that did end up going for longer than 1 to 1 never came back to break even. And of course, there you will have scenarios where it will stop you out at break even and then go in your favor. That's just something I'm going to have to be okay with though. Do I want to risk missing out on that opportunity? Should my main focus be preserving my capital? I'm really starting to put way more emphasis on managing my risk, and not even in the sense of like not over leveraging, not over trading, but when I'm in trades, for example, managing my risk, setting my stop loss to break even. I view that as like managing my risk because I'm not going to allow a trade that technically won, if I close at 1 to 1, to be a loser. You know, so it would be better for me to manage my risk, move that stop loss to break even, and secure what's in the account. So y'all can let me know what y'all think about this situation, what you would have did in this situation. So after I took this trade, I ended up taking this setup. This setup happened basically right after I got out that other setup. And then we had this zone right here. I did have a zone marked up here. It got invalidated, but when I saw that price was not closing below this low, I'm like, okay, this kind of look like a liquidity grab. I'm about to get in this. And y'all, I have not taken a liquidity grab setup in so long. Today, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna take a liquidity grab. So I got into this trade, and I like this trade. This is another ideal setup. I would take this trade again. I'm about to journal it right now. I just finished journaling this trade. Did I follow my system, which is the most important thing we're here to talk about right now. So I said, did I follow my system? I said yes in terms of executing. I got in, break of the candle, stop loss below the lowest wick. When I saw this, I was like, this is a clear liquidity grab. This is my setup. And mainly, as y'all can see in the journal, when I said how did I feel about this trade, I said even though I don't trade liquidity grabs as often, I have not taken a liquidity grab in months, I think. I said I liked it because it was clear. And then the main reason why I wanted to take the setup was the trading environment. Look at this beautiful trend right now, breaking multiple highs, 200 in a beautiful location. But yeah, like the main reason I wanted to get into this setup was because this is an ideal trading environment for me, and I know that I perform the best in trading environments that look like this. I said I did follow my system, and when I did cut this trade, and let's talk about that, y'all. Let's talk about that. It was 15 minutes to news. Gold at this point in time was like, you can see it was pushing up, then pushed back down, and pushed up, and then wicked, and then pushed up again, but then wicked again. Yeah, I think I got it out at like 9:43, like right before that next candle printed. So I was thinking like, okay, we're getting closer to news. And sometimes on my other symbols, especially like NAS, sometimes as we start approaching news, it will already start acting crazy. Like the volatility will start picking up. This is my thought process, y'all. I'm thinking, okay, we're getting closer to news. There's 15 minutes toward news. Should I potentially get out early before news drops? My only thing is I feel like I could have stayed in this trade closer to news, but that could have still been dangerous, because what if price started doing that early fluctuation, like that early, like, oh, news is about to drop, so let us get ready. Y'all know how to do, like, it's like 5 minutes toward news or 10 minutes toward news, and the candles are already acting like news was just dropped. I guess I was thinking like, okay, if I close now, like I was thinking there's potential for this trade to, you know, not break this high, maybe drop, maybe it might want to come down, tap into this demand, which it did eventually. Like it hit TP, but eventually it did come back down, tap into this demand, and then push back up. But I knew there was potential. Like I was like, okay, maybe price will not want to go up, like break this high right now. So I closed. Literally next candle hit my TP. But I'm not mad at that though. I'm not mad at that though, because at the end of the day ended up green, because this little small win was able to cover my small loss. Is that decision making sustainable though? Maybe going forward, if I'm in a trade, let's say I'm in a trade and I'm approaching news and I am in profits and I still have faith in my trade, because y'all, I like this trade. Like I had strong faith in this trade. That's why I didn't get out here at 9:30. Maybe to make everything as smooth as possible and to limit my decision making, because sometimes, you know, I'm human, we're all human. Emotions will impact our decision making. So I can't really be sure, because like I said, we still have 15 minutes to go. So that's 3 more candles until the news drop. How do I know that me getting out at this candle wasn't an emotional decision because I was scared that news was about to body me? So going forward in this type of situation where I'm in a trade, let's say I'm in profit, news is approaching, how long will I allow price or time to get closer to the news time before I get out if my TP has not been hit? There's been times where I was in trades that was approaching news and TP didn't get hit till like 9:55. Let's say there was news at 10. So that's one of the things I'm trying to figure out. Like, is there a rule that I could put in place to handle this type of situation? Honestly, I'm not even gonna figure that out right now. I drew up my trade. We're about to go do the DRC right now. So y'all, this is something new that I've been implementing into my journaling routine. The person who put me onto this, a very in detail trader, very analytical, and he put me onto this way of reviewing your trading day. And I really like it because, one, it holds me accountable. I have my goal that I have up here. I have my reminders, affirmation, gotta read that every morning. Based on my last sample size, these are the things I figured I should avoid in order to have a better result. I didn't trade afternoon session. That's why today's empty. I did not trade afternoon session because I took 2 setups in morning session. We're just gonna go through the DRC and really break down like my execution of these trades and figure out what changes can I make from today. So when I woke up today, I was not feeling good. I rated a C. I rated a B due to my lack of clarity. I feel like this could have been an A because the setups I took were ideal, but due to my lack of clarity in terms of executing these situations I don't really find myself in often, I rated a B. Risk, I rated an A because my risk management was pretty good. I rated the whole thing an A in my favor because the whole market condition today, like the trades I took, the market environment, and my mental, even though I was not feeling good, like physically, like I was feeling a little sick, I feel like in terms of managing my emotions, I feel like all of that was in my favor. And the market, honestly, in a perfect world, if I was a perfect executor, I could have had 2 wins today. But I'm not gonna lie, even if I won, let's say I took 1-1 on my first trade, and I probably wouldn't even have took another trade after that, knowing me. This is what I said. Took a loss on NAS because I was trying to target a little over 1-1. I did not move my stop loss to break even because in my mind, I did not view it as me going for a runner because it was not at a 1-2 or higher. I cut my trade early when I saw that it was no longer in my favor, which was good because it never went up to my second TP. To be more mechanical in the future, it might be best to automatically move my stop loss to break even when going over 1-1. That will help me prioritize preserving capital even at the risk of getting stopped out of break even before price hits the second TP. For my second trade, I said I took a small win on gold. I cut my trade right before my first TP got hit because we were approaching high impact news, 15 more minutes until news drop. I am questioning if I got out too early because the next candle hit my TP and we still had 10 minutes before news. I know that if the increase in volatility happened to bring price down into drawdown or to my stop loss, I would not be questioning my execution. But going forward, I need more clarity. I need more clarity in this situation on the most sustainable decision making to preserve capital and give my trades a chance to work out if I do still have strong faith in the trade. 3 highlights and 2 lowlights. This is one thing I really love about doing the daily report card, because the 3 highlights and the two lowlights and then the 1 top lesson really helps you to identify what you did good, what you should keep doing, what you did bad, and what you should try to improve on. And then of course the top lesson to make sure you are always learning from your trade. The market is going to do whatever it wants regardless. It don't matter if we happen to win or be in on the right side or not, because the market is just the market. We are the consistent factor in all of our trades. When we take trades, there's a different set of buyers, there's a different set of sellers every single time. We don't know what they want to do at a certain time. But one thing that will not change is I'm going to be the one here taking these setups. So what can I do? What can I do better? What can I improve on, and what should I keep doing? 3 highlights: I journaled my trades, I followed my max daily trade rules as well as my max allocated time before cutting a loss rule, and only traded in my ideal market environment. 2 lowlights: cutting my winning trade, lack of clarity in today's market situations. My 1 top lesson is going to be have clarity in all potential market situations to avoid potential emotional decision making and to make the overall trade execution easier for yourself. Usually when I trade, I only go for 1-to-1s, and they happen pretty fast if it's like a good ideal setup in an ideal market environment. If I'm in the trade longer than like 20 minutes, most of the time I'm going to lose, especially if it's in drawdown. Let me just cut the trade, easy decision. Or sometimes I'll just let the full thing get hit because I know my risk management is fine, so I'm not going to, stress out over taking a full hit. I'll just adjust accordingly to, the decisions I make after that. Today, I was active. I had a lot of decision making, a little bit too much decision making. The only decision making that I should be making is this a good setup? Should I take this trade? Yes or no? Should I try to hold this trade? Yes or no? Everything else should already be planned out. So I'm definitely going to work on that. So changes I need to make for today: I'm gonna adjust my break even rule to always move my stop loss to break even when I am going over a 1-to-1, even if it's 1.3. Like, I'm gonna still do it to preserve capital, because I could have lost nothing on that trade instead of taking a small loss. My priority should not just be like, oh, I want my trade to win. I want to give my trade a chance to win, but also I need to preserve my capital if this trade goes against me, So that's why I'm going to adjust my break-even rule, just in case another situation like today happens. I have clarity on what I should be doing. But yeah, also to clarify about the news trade. If you're in a trade and news is about to drop, you will have to get out that trade before the actual news comes out. Obviously, like, I'm not going to be in a trade during news. But you can allow your trade to run at least until 5 minutes until news drops. It's 9:55 and news drops at 10. I need to be out by 9:55 because I'm on the 5-minute chart also. So that's another reason why I said 5 minutes. If you still want to let your trade run to your TP, but are concerned about potential volatility, move your stop loss to break even if you're in profit. That's that mindset of preserving my capital. I always want to make sure I could trade tomorrow. So again, preserve your capital. So that's what I'm going to do that. If I'm really that concerned about the volatility, because that's what I could have did today and it would have worked out and I could have had a full win. If you are in a potentially losing trade, so let's say I'm in drawdown and news is about to come out, you can cut your trade early if it's within the time frame to allow yourself to cut trades. So if I'm in a trade, let's say the trade I was in today was about to hit my stop loss, like it was close to my stop loss and news was about to come out, I might as well just cut the trade. News maybe might make it better, but I'm not going to even take that risk. If I was not in a trade and news was about to come out in 15 minutes, I would just wait that 15 minutes until news passes and then start considering trades again. Let's do the overview now. Okay, y'all. So the overview for today that I put in any notes, I put: overall, today's trading day was good because it ended in the green, but that's not the most important part, y'all. I just want to add that, like, just because it ended in the green doesn't mean that automatically it was a great day. Like, no, the real reason why today was a great day was because I executed my setups to the best of my ability with the clarity and the information that I had. aside from like the little decisions I had to make on the spot because of a lack of clarity, when I took my first trade, ideal setup, I did not hesitate. Hesitation has been something that I've struggled with a lot when it comes to getting my trades. So the fact that I took both these trades today without hesitation, that I identified them as my ideal setup and I took them without hesitation, pat myself on the back for that. When in that NAS trade, I knew off rip where I wanted my runner, quote unquote, runner to go to, and I pre-planned it ahead of time. And sometimes I have a problem with like when price is almost at my TP and it's going in momentum, then I'm like, oh my gosh, let me go for a runner. But sometimes I don't want to do that because how do I know that's a logical decision? Am I making that decision because the momentum is there and I just want to try and go for more? Which sometimes maybe that would be a good thing to do. But if there's no nearby target, why should I even consider, you know, a runner when I could just do my normal, you know? Even when it came to me getting in aggressive, I feel like that was actually ideal decision making because of the situation. The zone was small, instant rejection at the zone, might as well get in aggressive. And I had a way a better entry than what I would have. So that's why I feel like today was still good. Daily actions checklist, I did journal my trades. I did not journal my missed trades. There was like 3 missed trades today, but they were all trash, y'all. I already knew that I wasn't gonna take them. Like, I passed all them setups up and most of them lost. So there was only one that won, and that's not what this video is about. So I'm about to do that after I end this video. Best potential trade, well, all the trades I missed today were trash, so I'm gonna say NA. There's no setup other than the setups I took today that could have been a best potential trade. Overall, I will rate today. I won't rate it an A because I had a lack of clarity. I'm gonna, you know, hold myself accountable for not being clear on those certain things, so I'm gonna rate it a B. Anyway, this video is done. I hope y'all enjoyed going over my trades with me. It was really fun to talk about my experience in the market today. Always remember that your trade reviews are just as much about yourself than they are about your trades. Always have that balance of looking at the setup. What did the setup do that was, you know, that you could have avoided or could have looked out for, but also what did you do that was good that you should continue to do, or that was bad that you should not do anymore. But with that being said, I'm going to end this video. If nobody has told y'all yet, let me be the one to tell you that someone has faith in you, okay? Let me not to be aggressive with it, but I believe in y'all. I believe in y'all. If nobody has told you, I'm telling you right now that I believe in y'all and y'all journeys. With love, I will see y'all in the next video.